Trophies in games are meant to be an exciting addition to a game to challenge players to do things they didn't think was possible. Maybe it's beating a game on a harder difficulty or doing some insane challenge, but these trophies offer none of that. Here are the most boring trophies of 2025. Speak with the Land has to be the most boring and pointless trophy in Ghost of Yotai, as it requires you to travel to 10 different special places within the world, marked by this very specific wooden sign, and either bow or play your musical instrument there. But of course, the game doesn't bother to mark these on your map whenever you've found them, or you've rode past one nearby, so it's something that you're going to have to use a guide online to watch a video in order to find them all. Because even when you do get to a signposted area, it's not immediately obvious what you're supposed to do here, as the signs are just really small and you'd have to get right up to them in order to see the image of a man bowing to even know what you're supposed to do. Because this whole trophy is just pretty vague and not very clear on what you're actually supposed to do. And the signs just look like background details. They're just these little wooden signs and they don't really stand out as a unique collectible item. And this is one collectible type in a game that is already really overpacked and stuffed with collectibles, and this one, in my opinion, just wasn't really needed at all. It's just pointless, because outside of unlocking the actual trophy, there wasn't seemingly any benefit to actually doing this. And the game even has more than 10 special locations in the world for you to do this at, but the trophy only makes you do 10, which makes me think that the devs realised as they were developing the game that this collectible type wasn't really working out, because they knew it wasn't fun and had no benefit to the player, but they didn't want to completely scrap it because they'd done all that work on it up to that point, so they just kept it at 10 so they didn't just completely waste their time. But you see, that's the problem with this trophy, because it's just an utter waste of the player's time. I mean, these two dumb trophies are something that you'll probably just unlock naturally when playing through the game, and you'll get your first chance in the Operation Pants level, which is a stealth-based level, as the Smurf has lost his pants as they've just basically run away from him, and you have to get through the level sneaking past everyone so no one sees you in your boxers to try and re-grab your pants before anyone notices. So in this level you'll be walking around on your tiptoes to not make any sound, and you can hide in bushes to avoid the guards. And these levels play out like a kid's version of Metal Gear Solid, and if you stay in the line of sight of a Smurf for too long, they will spot you and you'll get this game over screen where everyone just points at you while ruthlessly mocking you for being in your boxers. And it's here where you'll unlock the first trophy, Did We Forget Something at Home, for basically failing at this level and getting caught for the first time.
Wait, there's what?
So after getting a game over and then retrying, if you were to then get caught again in this stealth level, you'll then unlock another silver trophy called Some Nice Patterns You've Got There, for basically getting caught again. So you're basically getting 2 silver trophies for failing at the game. So these are just 2 utterly dumb and pointless trophies for just failing at a level's stealth mechanic. I really don't get why they gave you 2 silver trophies for this. This is just a really, really dull game. It's so boring. Honestly, it's so disappointing. The game is just absolutely bland, and by the time the credits started to roll, I was pretty much just done with this game and ready to just leave it behind and forget about it. But I still needed one more trophy in order to unlock the platinum. So sadly I couldn't walk away just yet, as I needed to level up all of my characters to level 20 in order to unlock the last trophy I needed. And seeing as I'd beaten the whole game and pretty much all of the side stuff and still not leveled up a single character, this was going to take me a long time and be a really boring and tedious process of slowly leveling them all up by replaying a bunch of the levels to farm a load of XP off all of the enemies over and over again until I finally unlock this BS trophy. Sure, I don't mind leveling up a couple of levels, but when you have characters that are nowhere near level 20, you know something's gone wrong there. So I was left with about 4 hours or so of me just farming these expedition missions on chapter 2, the mountains one, which is at the top northern area of the hub world, just playing that over and over again to get XP, and some runs I would barely get any XP at all, and then other runs I'd get loads because it would spawn in randomly the corrupted machines, which would just give me even more XP. And even when I was playing through this game, just as the story, I knew there was a problem with the XP, so I was deliberately leveling up the characters to unlock all of the XP boosting abilities, and even then I still finished the game with characters around level 15 or lower, and none of them were level 20. So yeah, I just think it's just too much, and it just kind of ruined an already boring experience by making me grind even more for these level 20s when there's no need to be level 20. There's nothing to do in this game after you beat the story. There's no challenge. It's not like when you level up the enemies get stronger or anything either, so that whole leveling system just seemed a bit pointless to me, to be honest. And Journey, the Book and Cordell trophy was definitely the most tedious one to unlock, as it required you to book 30 suspects, which on the surface doesn't sound like too many or even that hard. And to be fair, this definitely isn't a hard trophy at all. It's just a very monotonous one due to what does and doesn't count towards this trophy's progress. The very specific requirements end up working against this trophy, as it just prolongs everything and makes it BS. You see, in the precincts, you play as a rookie cop, and whenever you're out on patrol and you see a criminal, if you can catch them, you can then arrest them and put them in the back of your car and then drive them to the police station in order to book them in and throw them in the slammer. Or, when you're arresting them out in the street, you can go onto the menu and then select the escort option, and an NPC cop will come along and pick them up and book them into the station for you. And whenever you're out on patrol for a set amount of time during your shifts when playing, your preferred option will obviously be to book them in via this escort shortcut, as it's a much quicker method and allows you to stay out in patrol and end up catching more bad guys and having more fun out on patrol. Sure, you do end up with a lot less XP when doing it this way than you would from booking them in yourself at the station, but it's a nice little time save and it keeps the flow of the game intact. So it's just obviously what people are going to prefer to do. But unfortunately, the progress for this trophy only counts if you physically book in the suspect yourself, meaning you are forced to drive back to the station each time to manually book in the suspect at the front desk. Having to do this 30 times for the trophy just adds to the tedium and slows the pace of the game right down. The other option should count, as I've still made the arrest, having to drive all the way back to a single police station in the entire city every time. It's just one big massive ball ache. Well, there you have it. Those are some really boring trophies. And I guess it's time to crown the most boring trophy of 2025. The Book and Cordell trophy in the precinct was definitely the most boring trophy of the year, because having to do this 30 times for the trophy just adds to the tedium and slows the pace of the game right down. The other option should count, as I've still made the arrest, having to drive all the way back to a single police station in the entire city every time. It's just one big massive ball ache. It wouldn't be as bad if there were just other police stations dotted around the map, so that you were always pretty much near one, but no, there's just one police station, and it's on the first island of this city. Thankfully though, the map is fairly small, but it's still really annoying to have to drive back to this single police station each time. Another issue I have with this trophy is just how slow progress is due to the vehicles you have, as you can only ever fit 2 criminals inside your car at any one time, so you can't just stay out on patrol catching a buzzload of suspects and then drop them all off at the same time in one trip. You are always then in a pattern of just driving out on patrol, catching a bad guy, then driving around to look for another random crime, catching a second bad guy, and then driving them back to the station to book them both in, before repeating it all again. How boring.